Toddler tantrums and tears. They can be overwhelming for both the child and the parent. Why does my child whine? It's a question many parents find themselves asking, often in moments of frustration or exhaustion. Toddlers, those tiny humans with big emotions, are still learning to navigate the world. Their days are filled with new experiences, discoveries, and challenges. Their language skills are developing, but they haven't quite mastered the art of expressing their needs and wants clearly. This can lead to a lot of misunderstandings and frustration on both sides. This is where whining often comes in. It's a natural part of their development, a way for them to communicate when words fail them. Whining can be a signal for many things. It could be their way of communicating frustration, hunger, tiredness, or simply the desire for attention. Sometimes it's a combination of these factors. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a busy day and your little one starts whining for a cookie. It can be tempting to give in just to make it stop, but it's important to understand the why behind the whine. You're tempted to give in just to make it stop, but it's important to understand the why behind the whine. Is your child truly hungry, or are they seeking comfort or attention? Understanding the root cause can help you respond more effectively. Instead of immediately giving in, try to address the underlying need. If they're hungry, offer a healthy snack. If they're tired, it might be time for a nap. If they need attention, spend a few minutes playing or talking with them. Setting boundaries is also crucial. Let your child know that whining is not the best way to get what they want. Encourage them to use their words or other forms of communication. Positive reinforcement can go a long way. Praise your child when they express themselves without whining. This helps them understand that there are better ways to communicate their needs. Remember, patience is key. It takes time for toddlers to learn and develop these skills. Be patient with them and with yourself. Parenting is a journey, and every step, even the challenging ones, is part of the process. Understanding why your child whines can make a big difference in how you handle these situations. It can help you respond with empathy and patience, making the experience less stressful for both of you. So the next time your child starts to whine, take a deep breath and remember that it's just a part of their development. With time, patience, and understanding, you can help them learn better ways to communicate. The accidental reinforcement trap. Are you fueling the fire? It's easy to fall into the trap of accidentally reinforcing whining behavior. As parents, we often find ourselves in situations where our patience is tested to the limit. The constant demands, the never-ending energy, and the relentless whining can wear anyone down. Think about it. Your toddler whines for a toy, and you, at your wit's end, give in just to restore some peace. In that moment, it feels like the easiest solution. The whining stops, and you get a brief respite from the noise and stress. But what message does this send? When you give in to the whining, you're inadvertently teaching your child that this behavior is an effective way to get what they want. They start to understand that whining is a powerful tool in their arsenal. It teaches them that whining works. They learn that if they persist long enough, they will eventually get their desired outcome. This lesson is quickly absorbed and remembered. They learn that if they whine long enough and loud enough, they'll eventually get what they want. This behavior can escalate into full-blown tantrums, making it even harder for parents to manage. This creates a vicious cycle. The more you give in, the more your child will whine. The more they whine, the more likely you are to give in, just to find some peace and quiet. The next time they want something, they're more likely to resort to whining because it has worked in the past. This cycle can be exhausting and frustrating for both the parent and the child. So how can you break this cycle? It starts with recognizing the pattern and making a conscious effort to change your response. Instead of giving in to the whining, try to stay calm and consistent in your approach. Set clear expectations and boundaries. Let your child know that whining is not an acceptable way to communicate their needs. Encourage them to use their words and express themselves in a more appropriate manner. Reinforce positive behavior. When your child asks for something nicely or uses their words, make sure to acknowledge and praise them. Positive reinforcement can be a powerful tool in shaping behavior. Remember, breaking the cycle of whining takes time and patience. It's important to stay consistent and not give in, even when it's difficult. Over time, your child will learn that whining is not an effective strategy, and they will start to use more appropriate ways to communicate their needs. By addressing the root of the behavior and reinforcing positive communication, you can create a more peaceful and harmonious environment for both you and your child. It's a challenging journey, but one that is well worth the effort. So, the next time you find yourself at your wit's end, remember that giving in to whining only fuels the fire. Stay strong, stay consistent, and watch as your child learns to communicate in a more positive and effective way. Together, you can break the cycle and build a stronger, more understanding relationship. Use your words. Teaching toddlers to communicate effectively. One of the most effective strategies for stopping toddler whining is to teach them how to communicate their needs in a more appropriate way. Encourage them to use their words. When your child starts whining, get down to their level, make eye contact, and say, "Can you tell me what you want?" using your words. If they're not able to articulate their needs, offer them some simple phrases like, "I want juice, please," or "Can I have a hug?" Setting clear boundaries. Consistency is key. Toddlers thrive on routine and predictability. Setting clear boundaries and being consistent with your responses to whining is crucial. Let them know what behavior is acceptable and what is not. For example, you can say, "It's okay to feel sad if you can't have a cookie right now, but I don't listen to whining. If you want to ask for a cookie, you can use your words." Remember, consistency is key. It might take time, but with patience and repetition, they'll start to understand the boundaries. The power of no standing firm in the face of whining. Saying no can be tough, especially when you're met with a chorus of whines and a mini-human meltdown. But it's important to stand your ground. Giving in to whining only reinforces the behavior. When you say no, be firm and direct, but also loving and understanding. Offer a brief explanation if appropriate, but avoid lengthy negotiations. For example, you could say, "No, we don't throw toys. It's not safe." Time for a timeout, a moment for everyone to reset. In our busy lives, it's essential to take a step back and breathe, especially when emotions run high. This moment isn't just for the child, but for the entire family to find their center again. Timeouts can be an effective tool for managing toddler tantrums, including those fueled by whining. When a toddler's emotions become overwhelming, a timeout can provide the necessary space for them to cool down. It's a strategy that helps both the child and the parent to pause and reflect. A timeout is not a punishment. It's a way to give your child a chance to calm down and regain control of their emotions. It's an opportunity for them to learn self-regulation and understand that it's okay to feel upset, but there are ways to manage those feelings constructively. Choose a designated timeout spot that is safe, quiet, and free from distractions. This could be a cozy corner with a few comforting items like a favorite stuffed animal or a soft blanket. The goal is to create a space where the child feels secure and can focus on calming down. When your child starts whining excessively, give them a warning. It's important to communicate clearly and calmly. Let them know that their behavior is not acceptable and that they need to change it. This warning gives them a chance to correct their behavior before a timeout is necessary. If they continue, calmly say, "It seems like you need a timeout to calm down." This statement should be delivered in a gentle but firm tone, reinforcing the idea that the timeout is a tool for them to regain control, not a punishment. Let's go to your calm down spot. Guide them to the designated area and stay with them if necessary. Your presence can be reassuring and help them feel supported as they work through their emotions. Remember, the goal is to teach them how to manage their feelings, not to isolate them. Positive reinforcement. Catch them being good. While it's important to address whining, it's equally important to acknowledge and praise your child when they're communicating effectively. Positive reinforcement goes a long way in shaping behavior. When your toddler uses their words instead of whining, shower them with praise and attention. Say things like, "I love how you asked for a drink so nicely," or "Thank you for using your words. It makes me so happy when you talk to me like that." Patience is a virtue, especially with toddlers. Dealing with toddler whining can be incredibly frustrating, but remember that patience is your best ally. Toddlers are still learning to regulate their emotions and communicate effectively. It takes time, consistency, and a whole lot of love. Take deep breaths, remind yourself that this is a phase, and focus on the progress, no matter how small. Celebrate the victories, and know that you're doing a great job. Seeking professional help. When to consider outside support. If you're struggling to manage your toddler's whining, or if it's causing significant stress in your family, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A child psychologist or therapist can provide guidance and support in addressing the underlying causes of the behavior and developing effective strategies for change. Remember, you don't have to navigate this alone. There are resources available to help you and your child thrive.